Kia ora, and welcome to Friday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from intensifying. And today we lead with news. The Iran-US conflict seems to be intensifying. Market responses don't reflect that yet, however. In the US, initial jobless claims rose last week to 245,000, but this was less of a rise than seasonal factors can account for. There are now 1.85 million people on these benefits, less than year-ago levels. US retail sales were up a healthy 8.4% in June from a year ago, but virtually unchanged from May. If you take out cars and petrol, then the rise is 5.7% from a year ago and a fall from May. Still good, but boosted by their claimed 3.5% inflation. Online sales of electronics goods were particularly strong, suggesting buyers were looking to get ahead of tariff and trade impacts. Meanwhile, new order levels reported in the Philly Fed's July factory survey were impressive, but this came with a fall away in sentiment about the future and with unusually high input cost inflation, more signs of stockpiling behavior. And US petrol prices are rising again. US home builder sentiment fell in July in the NAHB survey, not by a lot, but keeping it in the depressed state the sector has been in since the pandemic. They have an input cost problem too. The other side of this industry is in lackluster conditions. Pending home sales fell in June from May and came in slightly lower than year-ago levels. That was their biggest retreat in 6 months. The weakness was broad-based across the whole country. In Canada, their June housing starts were 13% lower than year-ago levels. These were weak in Vancouver with a big fall-off in multi-unit construction, but quite strong in Toronto. In Korea, their central bank raised its policy rate yesterday, raising it from 2.5% to 2.75%. This was expected, however. It was their first rise in more than 3 years as it grapples with inflationary pressures, at least partially stemming from faster economic expansion there. Their previous change was a cut of 25 basis points in May 2025. In Australia, the respected Melbourne Institute survey of inflation expectations has come in with a 4.7% July result after its 5.5% result in June, after topping out at 5.9% in April. Australia's official inflation was 4% in May after topping out at 4.2% in April. Their June CPI is due to be released on Wednesday, July 29. And global container freight rates stayed very high last week, even though they dipped 2% from the prior week. That leaves them 75% higher than year-ago levels. Meanwhile, bulk cargo rates were little changed over the past week to be 55% higher than year-ago levels. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.57%, up 3 basis points from yesterday. And Wall Street has started today with the S&P 500 down 0.7% and the Nasdaq down 1.6%. The price of gold has fallen to $3,984 an ounce, down $78 from yesterday. Silver is now just on $55.50 an ounce, down $2 from yesterday. And oil prices little changed from yesterday at just on $79 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is still just under $84.50 a barrel. Hormuz transits have stayed low overnight. There have been just 3 crude tankers and 8 cargo ships exiting over the past 24 hours and 18 entering for new loads, although almost all of those are Iran-linked. More ships are exiting the Red Sea now, but much fewer want to enter. This rush out may be because Iran has told the Houthis to close the waterway if the US strikes Iran's civilian electricity network. The Kiwi dollar is down 20 basis points from yesterday at just under 58.4 US cents. Against the Aussie were unchanged at 83.5 Australian cents. Against the euro were also little changed at just over 51 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 62.2, which is down 20 basis points from yesterday. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $64,111 and down 1.3% from yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been low at just under plus or minus 1%. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again on Monday.